Hey everybody, welcome back to the HIT.OR.DIE podcast. We host Jake Saldati and Chad Rothford, and our guests we've been trying to get on for the last 2 to 3 years.
Terrible.
Brandon Simon, who is now the new head coach at Edison High School, was previously at Clovis North and also coached rolled at Edison, and is one of the top guys at CBA, the travel organization here.
Edison Tiger himself.
The original, the OG of the Killer Bees.
That's right.
Edison Tigers, and then went to West Hills and then drafted by the Diamondbacks. Welcome. Finally.
Hey, also that Region 8 National Assistant Coach of the Year in 21. Congrats.
Appreciate
it. It's a
that,
big deal,
man.
bro.
That was huge, man. It came out of nowhere. I don't know where it came from. I don't know who nominated me. It came out of nowhere, but hey, I'll take it.
How excited are you to be the head guy at your old spot, your stomping grounds?
Man, I'm glad to be back home, man. I'm there to become the CEO.
What? So I got a question though. When Coach rolled, sorry, don't mean to disrespect. When he stepped down or retired finally, was there any, where were you at wanting it then? How hard was it for you not to go after it? Because I know you've been at North for the last few years.
Well, it was a time where I couldn't find the time, man. I just wanted to make sure that my kids, my wife, got their time. And last year wasn't the time,
right?
But what happened this year? I mean, we all know.
Yeah.
I sat down and I prayed hard, and I was like, hey, I need an answer. I need to hear from you. So when I heard from the man upstairs, man, I was like, it's time to go. And I'm here now, and excited to make this thing go.
Yeah, and then so drafted to the Diamondbacks. How long were they? When did they start the D-backs? When were their expansion team? Was it the late 90s?
No, I think it might have been a year or two before you were drafted.
Because they won the World Series in 2001?
2000. Was it?
Two? I think it was 2000. No, 3, I think. One.
I don't know. You were drafting.
I know the Yankees lost in the World Series. I think the Angels won it in 2.
Purple.
Something like that.
It might have been in the late 90s when they became an expansion team. Did them and the Rockies come at the same time?
I want to say
like
they
98?
did. I don't remember.
Might have been 98 then.
Yeah. Oh. But so talk about, because Chad and I have had this discussion a bunch, and we were having it before we started. For the kids today, even your players that you have now at Edison that may watch this, or some of the parents, if they don't know, Edison was not just a powerhouse, but the athletes that were produced out of there. Mm-hmm. Pretty insane. When you talk about the top athletes in this section, there's some guys there that are on that list.
Sure. When I tell you, so kids these days, man, they just don't know their history. And it's a sad thing that they don't get to see or get to hear about their history. But Edison was, like I said, like you said, it was a powerhouse. And we had guys, Ricky Manning, Clifton Smith, Willie Johnson, Coop Taylor before he left the Washington Union, Joe Gilliam, Joe Walton. It was the list went on and on and on. But we all grew up around the same time, man. So with those group of athletes, it seemed like it was we came at the same time. So it was like, hey, are you going to Edison? You're going to Edison? All right, let's all go to Edison. So then we kind of built that ourselves. I mean, we all played basketball, football at a younger age together, but our basketball team was 10 deep to where all those guys went to freaking Edison. So and that made us a powerhouse. And then from there, and once you get a guy named Ricky Manning coming,
yeah,
he brings everyone, and that's what happened. We all everyone followed Ricky, even though I was a little older than Ricky, a year older. But his group, he brought a ton of guys, and then that's when you saw Edison on the map. And from that point on, man, it was some good things going on.
How was Cliff rolled at that time for you? Legendary coach, again, a lot of respect. A lot of years to that one program. Dedicated his life to that school. and the players. And honestly, the Easter Classic dinner this year was awesome to hear you guys, Jared Thompson and some of the former players talk about him, and him being there was awesome. You kind of talk about him maybe then when as a player, and then you obviously spent some time in the dugout with him as a coach and winning some section titles. Just what he meant to you, what you learned, and all that, and what you bring today because of him.
Well, first of all, man, I give everything in the road, man, just because I remember those days. He's a little crazy.
Passionate.
He's a little crazy. Yeah, man, he had us. He used to have us out there, man, in 100+ degrees where there weren't any bad air quality days. working. And we were like, man, this man is crazy. Like, it's 100+ degrees out here, and he had us out here, but he had something special about him, man. He just, we didn't know why we were working hard. We just know Coach Rose said work hard, and we did it. We didn't know what was going to come from it. We just worked hard, and he believed in us so much, so we started to believe in ourselves. And every team we've had, man, Coach Rose just believed, man. Like, he had a belief out of this world to where, like, I don't care who you were. When he gave one of his a speech, you would be ready to go play. I mean, you can be the last guy on the bench. When he speaks, you're gonna listen and you're gonna go out there and do. And that was the type of coach he was, man. And he had your back 100% of the time. And he worked our butt off, man. And he just was that type of guy. But for me, man, coaching up under him, man, taught me a lot. He taught me, hey, go out there and be who you are and give it your all. I talk to Rode every day now, or 2 or 3 times out of the week.
So I bet he was pretty excited to see you're the guy.
For sure. And I told him, man, hey, look, man, you're gonna, even though you live in Tennessee, I'm gonna call you because I'm new to this. I'm gonna need you to help me with the scheduling and so forth. He's like, I got you. He said we can Skype. We can do. I said, you Skype? You still use Skype, bro? And he's like, yeah. So this was yesterday. He's like, whatever we need to do to help you, we'll do it in Tennessee. So I mean,
how long was he there? For those that listen outside the area, like Cliff Rolled is
30+ years.
Yeah,
30+ years, and he's still on it, man. He's called, like I said, he talks to me once or 2 or 3 times a week. Hey, did they do this? Hey, they were supposed to do this 2 years ago. We were talking about another cage being built. You need to tell them that this cage was supposed to be built 2 years ago. I was there, so make sure they build that cage. All right.
But see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's the impact, right? You've been around the game a long time. Mm-hmm. You played professionally. You've coached a long time, whether it be at Edison, North, the travel game, and you're like, there's nothing. You're not too proud or haven't figured out to where
you're still wanting to learn.
Yeah, he's still wanting to learn, but his impact is still affecting you today.
Oh, for sure.
Like, that's what I love about it. Yeah. Like, James Patrick had that type of effect on guys. You look at his coaching tree, Coach Pappy and Jason, and like, I just love that, man. It's so awesome to hear that even today he's still wanting Edison to be the best Edison it can be.
Oh yeah, for sure. He was like, hey man, you're the one for the job. And when I got the job, he was like, thank you. You should have had it last year. You should have put your name in the hat.
He's probably mad at you, yeah.
I get it. But I had the reason so last year I hadn't went back to Edison. And when I finally went back to Edison and saw the field, I'm like, oh, I didn't know the field was new. I didn't know they did all those upgrades and all that. So then the time I went over there, I think I called my buddy. I was like, hey man, I think I messed up. I missed out. Like I didn't come back to West Fresno to smell the grass, to see the baseball field, to be in this area again. So I just automatically was like, no, I don't want it. But this year, I did that. Sat in the dugout, walked on campus, walked the warning track, walked the field, just to get that field again. And once I got him, I'm like, oh, it's a go. It's time for me to go. And then I of course, with that, I got my answer. So it was time, man. And it wasn't. I mean, time is everything. And I think this was the perfect time.
we kind of talked a little bit about some of the history of the players out of there. Just kind of staying with that, because I know people probably think of Edison first as basketball, football, but you look at the list of pros out of it. Like you talked about Asahina, and Billy Richardson was a guy, and
Ryan Braun, Pernell Holloman,
Chris Jones is another guy to get drafted. And even recently, you had Garrett Kelly was
Garrett Kelly.
That kid was a fiend, like a ridiculous behind the dish.
Max Shue.
Yeah, Max Shue, national champion.
Yeah.
And a great quarterback.
Yes.
Like it's not just football. Like baseball's been and Manning, professionally in both. It's pretty impressive. And yourself, like you're in that mix.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
And we're forgetting one of the best hitters, Dennis Brewer.
Dennis Brewer.
Sorry. I mean, he's one of the best hitters to come out of the area.
He's on my staff.
I mean, he went to Bennett and started as a freshman. And you don't do that.
Who is that staff? You said it's locked, or do you not want to reveal the?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Hey, speaking of staff, I hate to crowbar this in there. I mean, Buchanan has been looking for a head coach as another.
I saw
powerhouse.
I saw a Troy Gloss post.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so I got.
Is that a done deal?
I
think it's bad.
Do you know what surprised me about that?
I think it's bad.
Is it took I heard about it like a week and a half ago, and it took that long for it to get. I'm blown away. It didn't get out faster.
I know.
That's because Pags didn't know about it.
Well, no, he did, because I talked to him last weekend about it.
Really?
I got a call last Friday about it, and I'm like, I'm gonna sit on this. And then I talked to Nick, and he knew about it. He said, "Yeah, I got the same confirmation." I'm like, "Okay, two people different that don't talk." And then I heard it again. I'm like, okay. Apparently, the final interviews. Today's Friday.
Final interview.
21st. But apparently, I heard today's the last two are locked in, and yeah. I mean, it's formality, I guess. But that's a big name, Troy Gloss. I mean,
oh yeah,
that name might flash across ESPN News.
I mean, I don't know his coaching background. I don't know. He doesn't know the area. I don't know. I don't know how to go about it. I still think Ryan Smith was the best one for the job, and I hate the Clovis Unified rule where you can't go over. And that's what makes me mad is they needed to work something out to get him there. He is a Buchanan Bear. He was there during that whole freaking run. Played for Donald. Was a 3 or 4 year starter. I think 3 for sure, but that they messed up. Clovis Unified messed up.
I think the other thing, and I've told this to people about it, like if I'm an outside person looking in, I'm questioning why has nobody in the area attacked that?
Because nobody's stupid. They're gonna go there and fail right away. I'm sorry, you can't. That program
requires a different amount of time, I think.
It requires a different amount of time, but it requires a different type of coach, and you can't coach that way anymore.
Yeah, but with a guy like this,
Donald coached a certain way. Fonts was tough, son of a what.
Yeah.
Pappy can coach that way. Patrick, their old school coach needs to be at Buchanan, and nobody in this area can get away with that.
Some of the rumors I heard was like, his kid's really good ball player. I don't know anything about it, so if he comes, but I'm thinking, well, if he does come, like,
well, if he's a really good ball player, why wouldn't you want to stay in Southern California?
But also, are you gonna stay when he's done with school? They're gonna be in this search all over again in a few years.
Now that's the question.
It has nothing to do with the
person. That's why Ryan Smith for me
big leaguer,
is
all-star,
career guy,
World Series champion. Like, of course, dude. I'm sure he brings a shit ton of baseball.
He knows his stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
He knows stuff.
And honestly, he probably don't need the money.
No.
So I think honestly, maybe it is. Does he give a shit what people are going to have to say about how he's doing things? Maybe it's a good thing.
It's Clovis Unified though.
Right. Exactly.
We've both coached. All three of us have coached there, and we've also coached not in Clovis Unified. It's a different animal. I think Clovis Unified talks the talk.
Well, none of us are in Clovis Unified anymore, so that Although I think and probably hated to see you leave. How was that conversation?
Because staff left.
I'll tell you what, that's going to be a good program too. In the next,
they're going to be good, man. They're going to be good.
Don't sleep on them.
They're going to be good. Trust me, man.
How hard was that?
Hey, well,
you put some time in over there, man.
It was hard, man, but it was super hard because the staff, the kids, man. Like I don't care about the kids.
Yeah.
I don't care about anything else but leaving those kids, man. And you know,
And they were young.
Yeah. And I have relationships with those kids. I talk to those kids now. I call these kids now, and just to check on them. So that always was a hard part about me just leaving Edison, leaving anywhere.
Right.
Like the kids, man. And the day they start to find out, I start getting those calls. Like, gosh, man, I got to say something. I got to say something to some of these kids, you know.
Yeah.
So it's tough, but Prieto kind of knew, man. Like every year, like nobody knows, but every year, man, the whole time I've been at Clovis North, there's been a college that's called Prieto, a high school that's called Prieto. Hey, can I talk to Brandon? Can I talk to Brandon? Every year. So at some point he knew that it's going to be time. And then with this one coming up, with this job coming up, he kind of already had an idea. Like,
well, and to see it go by once, it ain't going to happen twice.
Exactly. And it came around again to me.
Right.
Yeah.
It was meant to be.
But hey, one thing I'll tell you about Pre, man, like he didn't just let it go. Like he fought. He fought to try to keep me to stay. Like he texted me, we called, had conversations. So I mean, but I commend him on just allowing me to be me and allowing me to flourish in his program. Like he opened doors up for me. He opened a ton of doors up for me, and I don't think I would have won that award if I was at Edison. And me and Dennis Brewer joked about it. And Dennis was like, hey, man, like, where does that award come from? I've never heard of it. You probably wouldn't ever won that award if you were to stay at Edison. And I had to say, I was at Edison for 13 years. I had never heard of that award. So probably not. So just me being in the track, me playing in Clovis Unified opened some doors up for me, man, and I'm grateful for it. Grateful, man. Boomatang, man, my bro. Our whole staff, Cody, Henry, Pre, the kids, even the parents, man, it's tough. That's tough to leave that. So, man, but I'm still here. I'm right down the road.
Luckily, it's not in the track. You can still pull for those guys that have success.
Yeah, and I actually just scheduled a game with Prieto the other day, 3/12. That's today. So we're gonna play a night game.
All right.
I think that's on a Tuesday night. So
I'll have to make it out there.
I'll be back.
Yeah,
I'll be back. So yeah, man. But pretty open doors for me, man. I'm grateful for it. And I've learned a lot from him. Hey, when I tell you, man, our practice is in college ran. I like it, man. He has so much. Even though I'm working with the outfitters, I'm always peeking over to seeing what the infielders are doing, and everything's timed, everything was scheduled, man, and that's what I learned from him. Gosh, like and to be honest with you, like I didn't have that at Edison before. Like we didn't have a schedule of what we were doing every day. We were going, what are we doing every day? What were we doing, road? Oh, it's this, and we may work on. We may be stuck on 21 outs or alignments for 2 hours.
been there.
Yeah, we were like, we're still on this. They can't get it right. So 2 hours, we're on it. So man, but like I said, man, I'm in the right place right now. And like I said, man, I'm here to be a CEO, not the boss. The CEO is bringing structure, a different way of looking at baseball, a different mindset over there, because I feel like it's been missing, and I feel like I'm the one that's gonna bring it. And I got a staff, like I said before, I got a staff around me, man, that's winners, and they win in life. So.
And they also understand
Yep.
the culture and the tradition of Edison.
Yeah, it's a different kid, a different player. Everything's just different about the dynamics of both schools. Like, you know, and then get into you a little bit. Like from Edison, you head to West Hills for 2 years, 1 year.
So I go to Hartnell.
Okay.
My first year. I sit out because I had a stress fracture in my shin, so I couldn't. They're like, "Hey, you're out." So I don't play. So the next year, Dennis Brewer leaves Fresno State. He's like, hey, you should come to West Hills. I'm like, West Hills, whatever. All right, you're there, I'll go. So, and then from that point, went to West Hills and then played. And luckily, man, the Arizona Diamondbacks was there and they drafted me. And it was a great thing, man. Like I said, I wouldn't trade any of that for the world, man. Just to get your name called, it was amazing.
Well, two things. Was City ever an option?
Yes. I just at the time, I don't know if I was polished enough to play at City.
Because that honestly, that was a time where you had like 70 guys trying to make that team.
Yeah.
People may not know that. That's why I say that. My brother, back in the mid 97, was one of those, like, you know, there's 75 dudes out here trying to make a 30-man roster.
Right.
You know, it was not easy to make. But then you come, you know, fast forward to today, and people are going to think less of a West Hills.
Right.
And yet you can still get where you want to get.
Yeah.
Like, the same rules apply. And that's why I wanted to ask, like, your time there, and how do you feel about that narrative when people say things like that?
Well, if you can play, you can play. They're going to find you. It doesn't matter where you're at. I don't care if you're D1, D2, D3, NAIA. If you can play, you can play. There's scouts everywhere. And if they want to find you, they're going to find you. If you're a guy, they're going to find you. And it's that simple. Me going to West Hills, I mean, they found me. And nobody knows. All in high school, I hit right-handed. All my life, I hit right-handed. I learned to hit left-handed late. So now I just hit left-handed. Nobody knew that. All my life, I hit right-handed.
What made that change?
So, Coach Rode in high school.
He was
we
crazy.
need to get down the line in a 3-9 instead of a 4-3.
Right. Hey, Coach Rode, man. So Coach Rode had me start. I started to work on it my senior year, right? And crazy, man. So I was working on it. He was like, hey, Brandon, go try to hit left-handed in the game. Guess who we're facing? Mike Bumate. My first at bat. Lefty. I'm like, he's left-handed. So what? Go. That at bat was the worst at bat I probably had my whole life. I'm like, man, why would you do me like this, Rode? And I said, I'm not doing it anymore. Cut it. I'm done. But I stayed the course, man. I kept working at hitting left-handed. So eventually I stopped hitting right-handed and learned to hit left-handed. So that's why I say at that time, I wasn't ready to go to City because I was trying to transition from hitting right-handed all my life to hitting left-handed.
It wasn't the right fit for you yet.
Right. But I mean, at the end of the day, man, it all works out. It all worked out.
Because you might go to City, be with your buddies, and not get drafted because you're not playing like every day.
Right.
You go to West Hill, you plays every day, and get a chance to get seen.
Yep, for sure. And
But also, we talked about all those names, right? The guys that you grew up playing with, whether it was football, basketball, baseball, and you didn't play football. You said you did baseball, basketball. Yep. But what did practicing with those guys do? What did having that competition every single day do?
That's what it was. I mean, we competed day in, day out, man, to where we would almost fight each other. Like, we would fight each other sometimes on the baseball field. We would get into it with each other on the baseball field, basketball court, all the time. But the thing about that, like, we were all friends. We hung out on the weekends together. So when we weren't playing high school basketball, we were at Frank H. Ball playing basketball on Saturdays and Sundays. We were at Story Elementary because they had low rims, right? Low courts. We would go and play basketball. But it was just something like we would be at Fink White playing basketball. So we were everywhere. But it was the same group of guys that went to Edison at the same time. And that's what made us compete and be competitive as we are today. Like we still compete with each other. I hate to lose. I can't stand to lose. And they feel the same way, man. And that's the problem, man. Today, man, guys don't know how to compete. Guys do not know how to compete, man. And I don't know if it's they're not outside enough. They're not outside playing enough to compete, or they don't know what it is to compete, or they're not.
Because it's not just the outcome of the score.
Yeah.
Right? You're competing a bunch of times within those 7 innings or 9 innings.
Yes.
There's a bunch of it going on, not just, we lost.
Yeah, man, we could, like, our competition would be crazy. I mean, I remember Ricky's my best friend, and I remember times where we were about to go to blows, and everyone around us was like, "Hey," like they were moving back, like, "Hey, man, this is about to be a good fight," and then we were like, I couldn't swing, and he couldn't swing. They were like, "Yeah, man, you guys are about to fight." So I'm like, man, like, but that was all out of love and our competitiveness, man.
See, I like that. Like when you guys talked about with Garza and Walden and you guys early on in your pro careers of doing workouts together, like it's no accident that all these guys have had success. All you guys have had, whether it's pro ball or football in the NFL, they've all gone on to do something. It doesn't, to me, it's no accident that the competitiveness and the bringing that to practice with as many guys as you did, why that stuff happens. It takes that and being accountable or holding somebody else accountable, even when it's your best friend. If you're all trying to win and have the same collective goal, it takes leaders or people like that to get it or achieve it.
But nowadays you're not at the same school. That's what's hard. It's like all the kids and their best friends, they don't go to the same school. So they're not competing on the practice field in high school. They're not, they might be competing at their travel organization or whatever on the side. But I think that's what's been lost in high school baseball is the sense of pride for the school. And I'm not saying it's wrong to play travel, have best friends on other teams, but you lose the fact of like, no, you didn't want to go to Bullard. You didn't want to go to McLean. You wanted to go to Edison and beat everybody up and not just beat them up. You guys destroyed people.
Yeah.
And that's lost now, I think. That's the biggest thing for me. Like when I grew up with Bullard, I grew up with my buddies from Bullard. Did I have friends that went to Clovis schools? Yes, but they weren't my best friends that I played with on the weekends and competed against in practice and wanted to win for Bullard.
Well, and you also knew the history of Bullard and who came before you and the pros and the championships, just like you did at Edison or Madera. I mean, I know a lot of the guys that came before and the teams that won. Like, it was important. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I want to say it's lost. Maybe it is lost, Roth. It could be. But I feel like maybe it's not a priority like it used to be.
No, it was. I mean, we hated other teams.
Yeah,
And it's not. I don't say this, and I know you obviously don't. And you're still coaching, and you're getting back. Maybe like it's not to knock the kids. It's just it was different. It was. It really was. They're facts.
Different times.
Whether people like want to choose to believe it or not, it was important. At Madera, we hated Bullard. We hated Central. We hated Clovis. Like, it was just, that's the way it was.
And that's where maybe I come off wrong sometimes. Maybe they are better athletes now. Maybe they are bigger, faster, stronger, but they didn't want it like we did.
No.
Maybe that's it.
You brought this up last week, and I just re-listened to that Gamboa yesterday. And I was going to talk to you about this, maybe even privately. I didn't want to put you out there, but you made that comment about, and I don't know if it's necessarily kids aren't better than we were 20 or players. I don't want to throw myself in that group. I'm not gonna say we. I think the fundamentals are different. Like, they're not as important. Like, I see a lot of awful base running. I see a lot of bad, bunt attempts. Like, it's just not as important. Like, I think being a 5-tool athlete 20 years ago was more important than maybe it is today.
Of course.
That's just my opinion. Do I think that they're worse players today? I don't want to say that, but I think they just approach the game differently than we did, or even groups before us even.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's a fair judgment. Maybe not, but that's my opinion of it. Maybe they're not, bad players. They just the game's approach.
Their thought process is different. Like Brandon, his job, and I'm going to speak for you. You can tell me if I'm wrong. Your job was to get on base, steal bases, score runs. It was not to try to hit home runs. A guy like Brandon nowadays wants to try to hit home runs.
Right.
That's the difference. That thought process isn't the same, because he didn't care about home runs. He wanted extra base hits. He wanted to steal as many bags as he could, because him and Ricky were probably going at it. I got more bags than you, which Ricky was thrown out one time in high school, and my brother threw him out. That's the only problem. And it was at third.
That's crazy.
Man. But that was the thought process. Yeah. You don't have guys in lineups now that are like, I'm a leadoff hitter. I'm there to take pitches.
Their role.
I'm there to get on base
They
any
have
way
their
I
role.
can. Yes, there were role players.
Yep.
Back in the day, I was paid to drive in runs, not hit home runs. I was paid, or that was my job, to drive people in.
Right, you were in a spot in the order where, listen, if these 3 guys get on,
I have to drive them in.
Right. That's your approach.
I'm not worried about home runs.
No,
I have to get him in. Now, if it's a ground ball to second to get him from third, that's my job. I got an RBI.
and they'll trade an out for a run.
100%.
Right, because the goal of winning a game, you got to score runs
Yes.
to win. Like, and when you're the 9 hitter taking daddy hacks on a 1-2 count,
Or 0-2.
you're not doing your team any favors.
No. And I think that's where it's different nowadays. Like, I think everybody wants to hit homers. They want to hit the ball as hard as they can. Which, it's fine if you want to hit the ball as hard as you can, but you're freaking 120 pounds soaking wet. Get on base. Steal. You should want to steal bases. You know how fun it was for him?
Goodness.
I bet. Well, okay, I wasn't a home run hitter, right? I didn't hit a lot of them, but I can tell you, I only tried to do it. The only time it only happened one time where I tried to do it. Every other home run I hit, I didn't even feel the ball off the bat.
That's what I'm saying. But
You could say the same thing. You could say
Yeah.
the same thing.
they try.
Yes.
They try. Like, we all know home runs are accidents, right? They go up there trying to hit a home run, pulling the head off the ball, not seeing the ball with 2 eyes. Yeah, but like you guys said, man, know your role. We all have roles. If you do your job, you do your job. We can win this game. But when you get outside of your role, now we need to move this guy over, and you're the guy that's supposed to do it. Now you can't get the bunt down. Now this guy doesn't score. It's all about roles, man. Like, know your role.
How many times did you go in the cage or something and you work on bunting or drag bunting just on your own?
Every day, all the time. I had to, especially in pro ball. Like they had me on the small field, right? Hey, every day you're bunting, but hey, the one time I was like, I came back to spring training. I was like, okay, man, I gotta try. I'm gonna try to do something different. I've changed my stance up, changed my swing up. I'm gonna try to start.
Willie Mays Hayes it.
Hey, one of my coaches
I put on some muscle this summer or off season.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm feeling it.
So my coach comes to me. He's like, hey, come here. We don't pay you to do that. And if you continue to do that, you won't be here. Enough said. You don't have to tell me again. All right. Hit the ball the other way. Hit the ball the other way. Stay inside the baseball. Drive the ball over the shortstop head. All right. He told me one time. He said, we have these other guys behind you to do all that stuff. That's not your job. So you can either continue to do it or you won't be here. Thank you, Coach. All right.
Okay, this proves another point of mine. That doesn't happen anymore in pro ball.
But that's not the player's fault.
I know.
That's the adults, and I think.
But I'm not just saying that the player. I'm saying baseball on a whole is in trouble, and this is why. I played scared out of my mind. I've said this before. I guarantee you played every game scared out of your mind to get released. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, these kids. What were you doing? You bat 210, playing flight.
Hey, I'm over there like, man. When I walk in this clubhouse, I hope my locker's not empty.
And that's what I'm saying. These kids get to play with freedom that we didn't get to play with, and they're just not even taking advantage of that. And that's what hurts me the most. You know, I hit 270, led the team in homers and RBIs, and I get released the next year. But nowadays, you can tell me I can hit 220.
But again, that's going back to the nature of the game's different. That's what I'm saying. Like, you talk about players aren't as good. Well, maybe it's not.
Maybe it's from the top to the
they haven't worked on this stuff like we were coached to work on it, right? We were coached a certain way as high school players, as a college player, you know, in pro ball in 2000, 2001. You were coached differently. Like, metrics and all that stuff was in its infancy. You know, now it's just a different game. It's played differently. It's coached differently. They manage pitching differently. Guys aren't going CGs. Like, I keep saying it. Who is going to be in today's current game Hall of Fame pitchers besides the Kershaws, Verlanders, Max Scherzer? Like, what new up guys like Blake Snell, Marcus Strohm? You're not going to see Hall of Fame in the pitchers.
No.
You're just not.
I don't see it.
Like, I had this conversation with a friend of mine yesterday with Acuna. Guy, I'm a Braves fan. Thank God we got him locked up. but he's going to steal a shit ton of bases this year. And because we've moved them closer or we've made bases bigger, what does that do to the record books?
Yeah.
Does Ricky Henderson steal more bags with 6 inches of grace?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? We've altered the game, not just how we've coached it. And I think it's a product of the adults just letting it get this way.
Well, just like
I can't
we talked
blame
about
it.
replay, Galarraga would have had a perfect game.
Yeah, he would have. But I'm saying we can't blame the players. We kind of talk on sometimes, and I guess that's why I'm saying it's. I want to make sure that people know I'm not knocking players when I say what I say. These things, like, I think it's the adults, and I don't know if travel balls played a role in part of the shift with the younger kids, because there's no reason that an 8-year-old should be doing the stuff that Trout or Pete Alonso or what certain organizations are trying to do hitting wise.
No.
Because you can't hit 220 and be, a high school. You're not going to play. No. So it doesn't help you. Like, when you get to that level, if you're a big leaguer and then fine. So be it. But if you aspire to get there, maybe that's not the right formula. Like you said, your role, you've talked about it, like hitting the ball in the back of the net. And Pete Alonso's clip was fantastic. And I think a lot of it is kind of how are we to blame a little bit as coaches of letting things happen the way they've happened? I don't know. I could be wrong. That's my approach.
I think it's as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, it's the times, man. The younger kids see it in the major leagues, and it just trickles down. So they feel like when they see a bat flip, they feel like, oh, I can do the bat flip. No, you can't. Not with me, because I know what's going to happen. It's not happening. You can't flip your bat. You can't throw your bat in the air. You can't do all that. No. I can see on the walk off or something. I get that. I get that. I get it.
But in the second
like
inning,
we said, if the moment dictates it,
right?
It's fine.
I get that.
Well, there's that video popping around Twitter I just saw this morning of a kid at some PBR event.
Yeah, I saw it.
And they were giving him some shit and it's whatever. And I read the background to it. Kid hit 2 home runs in that game, one to tie it, and then another one to take a lead, I think, and hit another one the next. And it's all good. But they also posted like 353, absolute bomb. And I'm thinking, 350, what ballpark's 353? Right. Like, you know what I mean? That's
or
not
you just hit it down the line.
Not a bomb.
353, yeah.
Wouldn't 353 become an absolute bomb? Like, why are we glorifying everything, every accomplishment, Coach Underwood texted me something about a video, and it was pretty ugly what I was watching. But even the point was how come nobody works in silence anymore?
No one.
It's all got to be seen. Yeah. Everything. My 2 strikeouts from the week, again. But they're the kids. We're the adults. We're the coaches. How much of that is on us for letting shit slide, or even the parents.
Yeah.
I hate when we sound like we're knocking the kids, but they're not in charge.
No.
I don't know. And what is it going to take to maybe bring some old school back? I was like talking about kids that want to be at a certain level. You better love it, man. You better love going out there on Saturday morning when nobody's watching and you get an hour's worth of tee work and BP and toss. You got to love it. You got to love it. Mm-hmm. These big leaguers and professionals and these college guys, they love it. They're choosing to sell out to it. And if you don't have that as a sophomore, junior in high school, just don't be upset at the things that you don't get out of it.
Yeah. You got to be.
You can't be mad that this guy doesn't want me. Well, no, you didn't love the whole process.
Right.
You didn't love this grinding on a Sunday morning or when it's the off season and it's weights. Mm-hmm. I think of Jordan Luplo, who you just got called back up this week. You got to love it, man, because he's had his last few years has been all over the place. Journeyman, up, down, required to hit lefties, don't hit for a week, and then pinch hit one game, and it's like that. You talk about having pressure. You got to love it to want to go through that shit.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Marcus Walden, you got to love it to want to go through it like this. They don't think nothing bad happened. It's just part of the work they got to do to achieve what they want to achieve.
Right.
Marcus will never tell you, "Oh man, this is what happened to me."
Right.
Ever. His mind doesn't work that way.
I think they need to hear from those guys. Like I think I mean, for our area, I think we just need to figure out something to where we can just have all those guys there, and tell your story, and bring all the travel ball teams in, all the high school teams in, and let these guys tell their story. And because I don't think they believe it, because I don't think they hear it enough.
Right.
I think if they heard it from the guys that's been there, that's there, it'll catch some ears. But they're not hearing that. Their parents aren't telling them that.
Right.
You know.
Well, maybe they don't know where to go. Like we do our best on here to provide as much info, especially from those guys, as we can. But I think you're right. I think you put it in front of their face. You force it on them. You know, because if you think you love it, you question that. Like question yourself. You know, do you really love doing things? You know, like everybody doesn't want to do stuff all the time, but you better love the process. You better love the game. Mm-hmm. You know, we talk about like some of this stuff with the 6 U's and the 7 U's, and I'm like, are they gonna love it in 10 years?
No, I'll tell you that right now.
You know, are they gonna?
If they're getting put, I can tell you right now. If you're pushing 6U like that, I'll show you a kid that wanted to quit when he's 12. He'll be burnt out.
It's funny. I like Chad. You know, I'll use him as an example. You know, his son's a pretty good baseball player. And he loved it, and then he probably still loves it. But all of a sudden, like golf's, and he's good at it. And I'm like, that's it. Like, let's just keep going. He's 7. And so Chad's like, I don't even know how often you guys play baseball. It's been pretty much golf every day.
We haven't picked up a baseball since the end of May, or since this golf season started for him.
It's just, you know, it's maintaining the fun part of it. Like,
let kids be kids.
You know, I go back to that fundamental part. That's where I think the difference in when we talk about kids today versus 20, 30, 50 years ago is fundamentally we just do things differently. Like fundamentals are how important are fundamentals today, you know, versus getting your hacks in BP. Do we spend more time wanting to get our hacks in BP, or do we spend more time on fundamentals and getting better in other areas of the game?
Right. And they understand this. The young kids have phones. So they're on YouTube. They're YouTubing everything they want to see. So they see this guy that's, he's a little flashy. So I'm going to be a little flashy.
Yeah.
I can do it too. So they're feeding their mind that day in, day out. I mean, I have to tell my son, hey man, be basic. Be basic. Basic works.
I think Labby said something similar to that of like, I like to see the guy that wears his pants normal and like the guy that looks boring but is the best player on the team. That is an intrigue. Like, I want to know more about that. Like, why are you not following every trend like everybody else? Because that's not going to get you to the big leagues. My game's going to get me to the big leagues. Yeah. And listen, I like King of JUCO. His stuff makes me laugh, man. But during the draft, he was posting about Max Clark's followers versus big leaguers, Matt Olson, and that's because those guys don't give a shit.
Right?
They don't post anything.
I'm trying to win a World Series. My game is what matters, not my social media.
Right.
And he's high. Well, this kid's got more followers than who cares? That kid ain't played an inning in professional baseball, and he may bust. Who knows? We've seen it before.
It's different time. It's times, man.
You think Matt Olson gives a shit that a kid that just got drafted has more followers on? No. Because that.
I mean, every mom out there has more followers than anybody nowadays with their doing their whatever they do now with all the influencer stuff. Right. You know, followers don't mean anything. If followers meant something, you know.
I just think, and you really got to love it. Like I was looking at some of your, like you had to travel from Montana, Pro Ball, Montana, South Bend to Yakima, back to South Bend. Like and this is in 4 years. Yeah. Like talk about it.
Man, I tell you, man.
Yakima sucked. Been there.
Yakima was horrible.
There's nothing in Yakima.
Hey, the only thing I liked about Yakima was my my host family. Host family was amazing.
And the field's not bad though, or it wasn't bad when I was there.
Yeah, host family was amazing though. But man, it's that rocky road, like, cause the moment you're doing good, you may go up, but then when you go up, they may bring another guy in, or another guy comes down, and you're like, you got to go down. And I felt like it was like that for me. Like a long time. I had to go from Lancaster.
Yeah, Lancaster too.
I went to Lancaster to. They were like, "Hey, we can't send you to South Bend, Low A, South Bend, so you got to go back to Yakima." I'm like, "Well, I just killed it in that league. You got to go." All right, whatever. I ended up hitting like 3 something in that league, I think. So I mean, it was a good year, but it's still, man, like the rocky roads of playing pro ball, man. You just never know. You never know. And then there's a draft every year, right? They pay guys all this money every year. So you may have to, if this guy is coming here, you're going down. I mean, I had a crazy story, man. So one spring training, I had Carlos Quentin and Connor Jackson just got drafted. And Wally Backman was my manager.
Okay.
Wally, hey, best manager ever, by the way, to play for.
He's intense.
Hey, he's a player's coach. But they were like, hey, center field's open. So it's going to be you. A guy named Jared Ball, a guy named Doc Brooks. That's, you're going to compete. All right, cool. I must have hit like 700 in the spring training. I had, for the whole month, I had like 3 or 4 hits every day. I played in some big league games across the street in Tucson. I played in those games, 2 hits, 3 hits for the whole month. So I'm like, all right, in the spring training, I'm starting center field. The other guy struggled. I was like, okay, I'm starting. I get to Lancaster. Wally Backman calls me in the office. Hey, Carlos Quentin starting here. Connor Jackson starting here. Jared Ball starting there. I'm like, he hit 100. He hit Broadway, but I didn't understand the business side either at that moment. I'm like, oh, but they have all this money invested in him.
Yeah.
I mean, he had been there for a while, but they still have money invested in him, so he still has to play. And so I go in and I'm like, Wally, man, why did you tell me that? They're like, man, it didn't come from me. I was like, really? No. So the whole time I said, when we're writing, so you're writing lineups, like you don't write the lineup? He said, no, it comes from up top. I was like, oh, okay, thank you. Because I didn't know. I'm in there just thinking like I may be looking at the lineup. Sometimes I'll come in and look at the lineup someday. I'm like, am I in there? Nope. And to the end of the year when I asked why, hey, man, why didn't you? He said, it's not me. I call in every game, every night, but it's not me. I don't make that call. It comes from up top. Thank you. I didn't know that, man. I didn't know it was. I didn't really know. I was just playing. You know, I didn't know it was a business at that moment. But I live and I learn, man. So now when I talk about these stories to kids, you better understand, man. It's a business. It's a business. So if you're gonna decide to take this road, understand what it comes with. Understand that, man. It's gonna be some trials, some hard times. Sometimes you feel like you don't want to be here and all that, because you may not play, because they have a guy coming in that they have a lot of money invested in. And I learned that late, man. I wish I would have learned it a little earlier, but I learned it late, but I learned it. I learned it, man. And pro ball taught me so much, though. Pro ball taught me so much, man. Even after I was released, I don't think I've ever told this story. But after I was released, man, I went back to spring training that next year and talked to one of my coaches, and he was like, "Hey, Brandon, when you got some time, come see me in the hotel." So I go see him in the hotel, man. He's like, "Hey, you know why you're not here right now?" No, I have no clue. You did everything you were supposed to do, right? Yep. You even helped them win that championship too, right? I said, yep. He said, okay, now I'm going to tell you why you're not here. They said you put so much pressure on their first rounders that they couldn't bring you back. I was like, what? He said, yeah. He said, he told me all the coaches that were fighting for me in the winter meetings, he said, but they couldn't bring you back because you was going to make a decision they have to live with for the rest of their life. I was like, thank you. And I think from that point, he freed my mind. He freed me. Because I don't know where I would have been.
It wasn't your game.
Yeah, it wasn't my game.
It wasn't you as a player.
Yeah, it wasn't my game. I was like, okay, thank you. You freed me.
You can't hear beating yourself up.
Yes.
Which is the shit you do.
Yeah, man. It freed me, man. It's man, nobody knows. Nobody knows what we go through. Nobody knows, man, unless you've gone through it. But it's man, it's life changing, and but you can either soak in it or you can learn from it,
right.
and just give all that game and the knowledge that you know to the kids that you come across on a daily basis, and that's what I chose to do. I chose to give it to the kids.
Yeah. And
even like 2 years in at Edison, Houston Astros called me. Hey, we want you in AA. I'll pass. I'm all right. I'm coaching high school baseball. Sure, yes. Thank you. That was it. That was it, man. Because that road, I mean, you know, man, that road is a hard road to travel. Hard road to travel, man. But I'm in a good place. You know what I'm saying? Because now I can give all this knowledge and what I know to these kids, man, and that means more than anything to me. And it's any kid. Like, you can ask anyone around in this valley, man. Like, I don't care who I coach. I'm gonna if I have this information, I'm gonna give it to you, because I felt like it wasn't given to me at a younger age, or maybe they didn't know. So I'm gonna give this knowledge freely to you. Just ask. And
don't take it for granted, man. Use it, abuse it.
Yeah, take it. Here, I'm gonna give it to you. And I mean, the young kids around here, man, I wish they would ask a lot more, because it's a world of knowledge around here.
Yeah.
Oh man, and they're missing out.
Well, I mean, look at the coaching staffs. Like, there's somebody involved in some program that's got some experience, whether it be life experience or experience in the game, that the players can benefit from, and they just choose to not take it.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Not all of them. Again, I don't want to lump all of them, but like, you know, there's a lot of, I've seen it. I've seen kids. I'm like, man, you got all the tools, dude. Yeah, I wish I had your ability when I was in high school. Like, I wish I was that. And then there's some things that you just don't want to hear, though, that, you know, outside of the baseball game could take you even further. It had nothing to do with baseball. It has to do with personality, attitude, you know, being coachable. Yeah, character kids. Like, you're missing some of those ingredients, man, and it takes them. You may not think so. You may think your talent's going to get you there all the way. It's not. It's not.
Why wouldn't you take that? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't that be your diet? Someone's trying to give you some information and it can help you. Why wouldn't you eat that?
Even maybe it's not, maybe it's bad. You still learn from it, whether it was good or bad advice.
Right.
You still get something out of it.
Yeah, of course.
You know, the career's going to end. You're not going to play baseball or football or whatever sport it is forever. It's going to end. Like, you better soak up any lesson you can get from anybody, especially guys that are volunteering their time. Are you a teacher?
No.
You're a walk-on head coach.
Yeah. I sell cars for a living.
I'm just saying not all the coaches are teachers.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't teach for 20 years. I didn't teach. Right. Chad's not a teacher.
Yeah.
Not saying you have to be. I'm just saying, like, it wasn't our job.
But we are teachers.
Yes. I'm just saying coaching.
I think coaches are more of teachers than teachers are teachers. Because you're a mathematics teacher, a history teacher. You're not a life teacher. We're teachers of life, I think. We teach the sport, but how much, especially baseball, how much does baseball have to do with life? It's the sport that has the most to do with life.
Yeah.
Because it's all about failure.
Yeah. I think being on a team, too, just any team that you can be on, you're going to get a sense of, you know, having to be family, having to, again, accept your role. A little different, I guess, with golf or a tennis, you know, something that's a little more individualized.
But still, even in that, they still have a teacher. They still have someone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They still talk to someone.
Well, it's funny. My first ABCA coaches convention, the first speaker I heard, that was one of the first questions he asked was, do you remember your third grade teacher, fourth grade teacher? Name all the teachers that you can name that you had in school. And I had like 5 or 6. And then he's okay. Now write down all the coaches you had in your life. I named every coach I ever had. Yeah. You know, they had impact. you know, and hopefully we've had that. I just think some kids maybe need to be a little more receptive today, not so quick to go dismiss it because we're not have 100,000 followers on Twitter. Doesn't make what we have to say less important. You know, because you don't know where that guy's been.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can look you up. I can look up a bunch of guys that have been on this podcast to share their stories and things they've learned throughout the game and life. I mean, this is free.
Right.
We've done this for free for 4. It's all here. You have access to every bit of it. You know, and hopefully, and a lot of kids, I've heard a lot of great things from kids that love listening. And I think that's why a lot of people enjoy, that's why you've done so well. It's why I'm sure Prieto hates to lose a guy like you that does fight for a guy like you. You bring stuff that, to Hurdle or Riley Cooper or guys that going on to play, I'm sure they've taken something away from it.
Of course.
And it takes that. I love that you said that too. Again, I don't know, talking about today's game, you've been involved with travel and high school and different levels. Is there things we've talked about coaches is there things we could do differently? Like today's game, do you think there's things that we should be doing differently? The way we approach coaching the kids? I know a lot of coaches do things just in fear that the parents are going to run them off.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Well, so in a travel ball game, you got to understand, it's, you got to get that, you have to get daddies out of there that's never been around the game like that. First of all, and I'm a dad coach. I coach my son, right? But you can ask any coach, any parent around there. Oh,
you coach him harder than anybody.
Yes.
And there's a fine line with that though too, pushing him too hard.
Oh yeah, yeah. So when he's out there, I'm like, hey, when he's at the plate, I don't say anything.
Do you have moments where you let the other coaches handle him?
All the time.
Where you handle him. I'm not gonna.
All the time. You go talk to him, because you know what I understand. At some point, he's gonna have to go play for someone else.
Well, you know what else though too is, it is gonna end for him someday, but being dad never ends.
Right.
So how do you want that relationship to be?
Exactly.
I think a lot of that gets it's pushed and it's like, nah, dude, his baseball career is going to end, but you being a dad will never stop. Mm-hmm. You will be his dad long after whatever sport he was playing or whatever, career path he chooses. You're always dad. Let's make that really good.
Right.
Versus trying to be good at whatever sport it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So my son, and they know, man, it's, I've been coaching the young kids, 10U. But I just think that if you have the right guys in the right places, travel ball will be all right. But I think they got a lot of the wrong guys in there with the wrong mindset.
Yeah, no, I've seen that. I see, and I'm out of it.
Yeah,
I've been out of it the last couple of years. I don't know. I know what I see on social media. I don't love a lot of it.
When you do it for the wrong reason, it's a problem.
Is that getting exposed, do you think? Now, does that get exposed more? Or, because I like to think that there's more good organizations than there are bad.
It is. Well,
but I don't know. And when they're bad, are you guys, do they get exposed? Do we say, hey, man, these guys this ain't.
It's a lot. It's a lot of organizations. And you see a travel ball team open up new.
Well, you're trying. The thing is the dads that just want their kids to play are starting travel ball teams. So you're having a lot of bad that are giving good travel ball organizations a bad rap.
Right.
And it's for their kid and 2 other kids.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what it is, and it's. I see it all the time, man. I've played games where I'm looking at a game changer. I'm like, hey, or I'm watching the game. Hey, man, this kid right here is 9 years old and he's thrown 100+ pitches. You guys aren't gonna take him out? That's a dad wanting his son to win a championship. Who cares about the Pizza Hut championship? Are there any D1 schools here? Are there any NCAA? Is there scouts here? No. So why are you willing to blow this kid's arm out?
For nothing.
For nothing. Who cares about this ring? And I hate that, man. So the ring used to be a thing for us, right? We want to win the Valley, so we win the ring. My son has 20 rings. They give out rings now, so.
And don't they give them out to like first and second?
Yes.
They don't, not even just first place.
Yeah. So I'm like, man, nobody cares about this ring. We don't care about this. If you're playing for the ring, you're playing for the wrong reason. I mean, I get winning. Like, we want to win, but we played for a Valley Championship ring. I want to win a ring.
Only one team gets it.
Yeah.
Now there's 6, but I'm just saying it.
Yeah.
You know, you have back.
It was a lot harder back then.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you had 30 teams, and half of them didn't make the playoffs. It was hard to do.
Yeah. So
It's still not easy. I get that too. I'm just, like you said, I'm out. I'm asking questions. Like, I only see what I see on social media.
if you come out to one of our tournaments, you'll be like, and just sit and watch. You'll be like, whoa.
Well, like, it seems like developing's taking a back seat. That's what I'm talking about, fundamentals, like development and the IQ of the game. Like, that's what, if it's not a massive college scout type of tournament, then we should be utilizing this to get better. And maybe we should play a different position today. Let's learn something new this weekend, right? If we win, we win. I don't know. That's how I when we coached travel ball, that's what we did. But that was 18 years ago. So I don't know how it is anymore.
It's different. It's different, man. And
I mean, they're playing like 4 to 6 games in a weekend.
Is it guest?
That's tough, playing a lot of games in a weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Guest play. Like, now I've heard there's kids that don't even play on specific teams anymore. It's just
guest
this
play?
weekend.
Yeah.
That's a thing, right?
Yeah.
Drozo did it.
Yeah.
I throw out Drozo under the bus.
I'm just kidding. He didn't.
No, I don't know. I feel like we can do things better, maybe. I mean, we complain about it sometimes, and it's like, well, why is it that way? We're the adults. I like the mindset. I like the approach that you're bringing. I just like you. I love the way you coached at Edison. I didn't get to coach against you much while you were at North, but I always had fun playing you guys. We've had some battles too.
Oh, yeah.
Were you there when he got thrown out, or were you gone? You remember that? That was the game. It was the game we came back from.
No, not 15. 14?
Like down like 12 runs
16.
in 2 innings.
I was there.
It was like
there?
a massive comeback.
Haddad was still there.
Yes, I was there. Yes.
So it happened because Haddad was given an extra pitch or something.
I don't remember.
I don't know. They called the runners back or something, and I went ballistic because then Haddad got a hit.
Yeah.
Well, I remember. I'll never forget. Woody went to put his clipboard down, and then he turned this way. Chat's already at home plate.
He lost it.
Hey, it triggered a comeback.
We won. We scored like 11.
But we've
runs.
had some battles.
Hey, but sometimes you need that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need
yeah.
Hey,
Sometimes they need to know that you're on their side.
I got your back. I'm willing to get tossed out this game for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't end without real quick touching on the 2009, and then you guys won it in 11.
Yeah, 11.
So and Day that year was something special to watch. He was just fun to watch. Period. That kid had a dog in him like you just wouldn't believe. I wasn't at that playoff run. I was dealing with some stuff, but Madera was the 1 seed. You don't even have to talk about the game. Just him as a player person. Because I know there's a celebration to him every year with your dinner and awards and stuff. But like, thank God I got to watch him compete, man. Because on a baseball field, he was something special to watch. Just talk about him real quick.
Hey, what year was that? So I think we played who was it? Mount Whitney one year, right? And they ended about we were in Visalia. Their guys coming around the third and crashes into Garrett Kelly at home plate. Boom, blows him up. They win the game. The umpire's like, we're like, you can't hit the catcher. Ball game, right? So we end up playing Mount Whitney again the next year. And it was a Valley Championship game. So Day was like, he had an old soul, right? So I'm like, all right, man, we're gonna have the music playing. I said, what song you want to play, Day? He said, man, we're gonna play James Brown, The Big Payback. And The whole time. So as soon as they got off their bus, right, they're like, play that song, the big payback. They pitches that game in and was lights out. When I tell you, man, I've never seen. I wish I could tell you what his nickname, but I won't say it on here.
Privately, we'll say that.
Yeah, but man, he had he didn't fear anything. He didn't fear anything,
and he wasn't a big dude.
No,
not a big dude.
He just when he got the ball, he knew what time it was. We played against Hanford one year. We get off, they're laughing at him on the mound. They're laughing. Oh, look at him, joking at him. Next thing you know, he gets to cutting them up.
Hey, was that Dalton? That was Dustin's team, Silva, huh? Was that Silva? Or was that 10? They were 10.
What was the guy that
Scott?
Shortstop for those guys back then. I think his dad was.
Yeah, Scott.
Yeah.
Preston Scott.
Yeah, Preston Scott was on that team.
Yeah.
Hey, he must have chopped. When I say it was like he had a sword. after the game, they were like, "Man, you're good. Like, but they laughed at him at the beginning, first inning. After that, they were like, "Oh my goodness, we ran into a lion right now."
I'll tell you what. There was honestly, I don't remember many games where he didn't have a good day.
Yeah,
like where he struggled.
And you know what's crazy too about him? In middle school, they should throw him like 100+ pitches.
Well, Coach Rold would use him pretty frequently.
But so he was so used to.
He would start on Tuesday and he'd close on Friday.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what he had in his arm, but from growing up, like they would throw him 150 pitches and he would just go. I'm like, man, what's wrong? What's in your arm, dude? Like something should be wrong. No, give me the ball. I want it.
Yeah, he was fun, man.
Oh yeah. Exciting to watch, man. And like I said, man, he didn't fear nothing. Little's got on field, but didn't fear anything.
Yeah, and he didn't. The moment did not bother him at all. No, not at all. No, he was fun to watch. Man, I'm glad we got to do this, bro. I appreciate you taking some time for us. I know it's long overdue. We got to do it again, and I love the idea of bringing guys together to hit some kids and approach.
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
A little.
I mean,
something.
we've talked about it.
Yeah,
before.
we have.
Like our own ABCA.
Yeah,
here.
Let's do it. I'm all for it, man. We need to, man, because these kids need to know. Like they're out of the know. They don't know.
Well, and just give them just Q&A.
Yes.
You got questions? Well, they don't even have to talk much. Just what do you guys want to know?
Yeah.
What can we help you with? I think it'd be great.
And give them the blueprint.
Yeah.
Because it's guys here, man. So much knowledge here. They'll lose their mind. Their parents will lose their mind because I don't even think they know.
No,
they have no clue.
Yeah, no, and then for the money they spend on other things.
Yeah, man, it'll be like ABCA.
Yeah, we have to talk about this.
The whole valley.
Yeah,
man, you'll have people coming.
And I know Coach Purse used to have something out at Reedley College with some guys that come in, and there's definitely something there, and I think that's a great idea. I think that everybody benefits from that.
And you're connected with the right people, man. Like, man, we'll blast it out, and everybody else will blast it out once it goes out. Now with these phones, shoot. Man.
Yeah, wildfire.
Yeah, you'll get guys from all over the place.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that's a great idea. We definitely got to take that further.
Let's do it.
But I appreciate you coming in. Congratulations on being the new guy at your stomping grounds, man. I'm excited for you. You know, and Chad's always said it, like it couldn't happen to a better guy, better person, let alone baseball guy. We're fans. Anything you need from us, bro, anytime, you let us know.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me, man. It was fun, man. I should have been here.
And we got to do it again because we just scratched the surface with you.
Let's do it.
But again, I thank you everybody for downloading. Thank you for staying with us. I got to thank Gamboa last week hooking up with tickets and being just so gracious to us. There was a lot of Madera people in Sacramento watching, bro. So thank you, Alec. Another episode of Hit or Die podcast.
Hit or Die.